How did I get here exactly? Oh, that's a pretty easy answer, actually. Um, I was pushed through my portal. I can't say who exactly. It was probably Crimson. Somebody you don't need to worry about, because they're not really a concern for you anymore, because I'm gonna be honest with you for a second. I think they gave up on the whole take over the world thing, which at this point I think they're only interested in tormenting me, which is fine, I guess. It depends on how you look at it. My name is Shadow Bonnie. I prefer it greatly if you would call me Shadow, but that's really up to you because I'm not staying here long, hopefully. So I don't mind because you're clearly used to calling Shadow Bonnie, which is fully fair. I don't. I mean, I mind, but not as much as I probably should. Yeah, I'm not exactly from the dimension I followed to get here, which I'm basically trying to say. I kind of changed my dimension and where I live, or I guess technically spawn into, because I'll be honest, I think we're playing on just playing games or something like, I don't know. In reality, I think that's all for Crimson's entertainment, which at this point I've kind of give up on because I really don't care anymore. I'm losing hope of that, but I think it's kind of already gone. Um, but my dimension kind of isn't quote unquote active anymore. So I went to the one with Crimson in it, which I did have a Crimson in my old dimension, but that's besides the point. I know the coordinates to get home to my dimension, my preferred new dimension, if you call it that. I'll just call it my dimension from now. It's easier to do. So yeah, I can put in the coordinates, I mean, send me home, although I doubt it's going to be that easy, but I'm willing to try to get me home. I can help if needed, but I'm not sure how helpful I can be because it's clear I can only do so much in my dimension and I can only do very little in the others because I don't know about the dimension fully because they're all different. So, yeah. You do? Alright. Well, I guess that's it then, huh? You're just gonna try to get me home and then to go from there? Right. At least it was me that showed up here, although I think they did it to mess with me, but if they did it to anybody else and they didn't push me in here, I don't know what would have happened because anybody else that would have been through here that wasn't me, I don't know how they'd react, and I don't know if they'd be able to memorize the coordinates like I did, so there's that. So. However, I am willing to walk around with you to find people to get me home. So, we'll do that. We'll do that. I'll follow you. Um, Blackheart Bonnie, huh? Nice to meet you. I'm not gonna promise if I'm good or bad because I don't know what this dimension considers that, but I I don't have the intention of harming you because I have no reason to, so it's nice to meet you, bud. I don't know what to say exactly, but I mean, nice to meet your acquaintance. I'm not gonna stay here long, but it is nice to meet people. Snitch Ballora. Okay. Um, it's nice to meet you. I can't say much since I don't personally know you, and I think you'd prefer if it stayed that way. Which I think that goes for both of us because I'm not staying here long. I don't expect to stay here long. Hopefully, that plan may change and I just hope it doesn't change for too long a periods of time, because I'll be honest with you for a second, I don't know what's going to go down, or what already has gone down, by the time I get back to my dimension, because while I am just a small piece of what holds that place together, I'm not exactly sure what they're capable of, and I know I probably should know that, considering what big a part I play, but they can be not that predictive sometimes. They can be something, I'll tell you that. Technically, I do have a point. It was for Crimson's entertainment. And if you'd like to know more about my dimension, I think it'd be worthless to know about, because while I will admit information is good in any regard, even if it's just slightest information, I don't think we're going to meet again, which is a little bit, I kind of care a little bit about it, but to be honest, while I did enjoy the time here, I still have stuff to do back in my dimension. And I know I don't have much of a role to play. If I can come back here, I would. And I probably will be able to, actually. I mean, it's been nice here, which I know stuff has to happen here. There's chaotic stuff that happens in every single individual dimension. It's, though, a break for me, which was this, has been nice. Although I can't really stop it whenever it decides to end. So, I'll see you later, I guess. And, unless you want me to stay for a little longer, meet people or something. Unless you want to gather information about my dimension, which I wouldn't mind sharing, because while I don't think they'd come here because that's a little too much for Crimson, and they know it would be, I wouldn't say they wouldn't try, because they can be surprising sometimes what they plan to do and don't. If they did come here, which as much as I doubt that, if they did, they'd probably run as soon as they seen you guys. I say that in the nicest way possible, because while they do hold a, I guess, scary demeanor to her, Crimson, she's not as evil, quote-unquote evil, as she seems. She'll back down, eventually. I don't see her trying to come here, but if she ever does, it wouldn't last long until she decided to leave. Because I don't think she couldn't grasp what she's up against, because I think she can read a room pretty well, so I don't think she'd try anything. If she did, she wouldn't be much of a problem here, really, except for the problem trying to get her home. My old dimension wasn't, how do I say this? I want to say that it's not a thing anymore, so don't worry about it, but it's not as, it's not that it's not an issue. It's just that I kind of chose to ignore it over time, which I guess is a normal reaction. I'm gonna assume it's a normal reaction. So yeah. It was about the same as the one I'm in now. Not this one, the one that I was in before I came here. The one I've been living in for the past few months. It's about the same, except there's been people in my old dimension that were nicer, but also had meaner stories, I guess. But then again, that was a different dimension, so it makes sense that there'd be like things that make it different. What? How? Well, the reason I did leave was it wasn't that it was destroyed. Not entirely. One day, I figured since they were my friends, people like to say I called them family, which that kind of at this point, I don't know how to feel about calling them family. My old dimension, while I did consider them more friends, I thought one day that if I told them how I felt, that it would be fine. Turns out, it wasn't, and I don't know what happened exactly, because it was a blur. Crimson just did something to the portal and it exploded. I managed to get my hand through that portal, and that dimension wasn't destroyed. And for some reason, putting my hand through that portal teleported my whole body out of there. It was technically destroyed, but not in the way of it not existing. Because if it didn't exist, I wouldn't exist. I haven't been back there. I don't know what happened. I don't know if any of them are there. And the ones that aren't there, they're either dead, which I don't want to go back to, because, as I said, they're a version of family for me. Or they left. I'm hoping they left if they survived that. But I don't want to find out what they have against me. I've already dealt with a puppet that was a friend. The reason all of this has been overlapping itself for years, and for some reason I've been the one holding it, because I'm afraid that if I tell them what happened, because clearly the one dimension I'm with now didn't tell them. The Shadow Bonnie in the dimension I just came from, they didn't tell anybody, and it turned out fine. And I don't want to stick around to find out what happens if I tell a dimension that already lost their Shadow Bonnie what really happened whenever mine exploded because of that singular fact of letting my emotions out. I don't plan to do that. And as much as I know people are going to feel maybe remorse for me, I don't care about remorse anymore, because I know I don't deserve remorse, and I guess say self-hatred over all the years, I guess could do that, which is totally normal and absolutely fine, and I'm kind of breaking at this point. The point is, my dimension doesn't exactly exist to an extent anymore. It is up to you how you respond. I don't care how you respond. Just, can I go home now? I gave you the info of dimensions, and while my dimension has its problems, and it has its evils, I assume yours does as well. And my apologies for saying that if we're never gonna meet again, which I'm assuming we're not going to, I had the talk somehow, which I realized how bad that was. But whatever. I'm going home now. So I'll let you get the portal ready and stuff, and I'll be on my way, I suppose. I'm still gonna say my apologies for all that. That was a random outburst of things I didn't mean to do. Whatever. if I do want to hang out with you or see you all again, I'll try to call beforehand. I'll see if I can do that. Maybe a little bit probably knows a way to do that. My little bit, I'm gonna specify that. My little bit knows a way to get to do that. So I might be able to call you from my dimension, which would be pretty nice actually. So I'll see you around. Bye. Yeah, I am actually. Um, I'm not a Shadow Bonnie. That's why I don't call myself Shadow Bonnie. While I am literally a Bonnie, I'm not a toy Bonnie, Shadow Bonnie. It gets complicated, which is normal. It is. I'm not a Freddy Fazbear or After Robotnik's type of Shadow Bonnie, but I'm not a toy Bonnie. I'm a little bit of a mix of both because I have the same material as a toy Bonnie, but it's got a layer under it that makes me stronger. But I'm still a Shadow animatronic, which means I can teleport, and I have all the abilities of a Shadow animatronic. It gets pretty complicated, but yeah, it's, I guess, simple in a way, because System Overload is he's a person I know. He's a friend, I guess. He's more complicated than me, but he's not exactly evil, so he's not that big of an issue. I'm just saying, he's more complicated than I am, but I think that's why my dimension was as weird as it was because I'm not exactly a normal animatronic, because I have my differences. Not just as in coding, I mean as in animatronic wise. So yeah. Yeah, I understand. The dimensions can be counterproductive. I say that because some of them will have the same struggles or something way worse. And I think yours is about the same as mine. Now, while yours has all the problems put through different people, mine has it piled on certain people having more problems than others, and I get that's about the same with yours. As bad as yours is, I think about the same as mine. I'm not trying to compare that. I'm not comparing problems. I'm trying to say that the effects that this has put on us is about the same as in what it's done, not as in how it was done, which I guess can be thought of anyway, really. So, what has been thrown at us is some of the things humans that are still alive and not stuck in these animatronic bodies wouldn't understand, because they don't have it in the way that animatronics do, which I get yours is different, and while I'm not gonna assume you're dead children or not, because I'm not a dead child. I'm technically I can drive, but technically I can't. Yeah. I mean, I died at 17, and I was put into this animatronic body. I'm pretty sure I am, I think I'm like, I forgot. I think I'm like 34 now. Which technically, that's not right, because I'm still in the mindset of older. but I'm technically still 17. It gets really complicated, but yeah. Technically I can drive, technically I can't because I'm still an animatronic, so that, yeah. I'm probably the only one legally that could drive because, well, except for Afton and maybe Danny, so yeah. I don't know how old Crimson is. I wish I knew because that'd probably be pretty funny. It's up to you if you want help or not, but personally, I think I'm doing fine right now. While I do have all the problems that overpower most of them, yes, there is stuff in my dimension currently. I don't want to try to, I guess, bother you, which I probably won't be doing anyways, regardless of what happens. I feel like I am, which is something I don't want to do, even though I'm probably not. And I know your dimension, you have your own struggles and your own problems, so I'd rather just, I'll figure it out myself. If I need help for any reason, I'll see if I can, I guess, have you help me. But if you need help, though, if your dimension does, you can call me, or you can come to my dimension and find me. That'd be interesting. You coming to my dimension would be very interesting. I don't recommend you do that because there's problems in my dimension you won't understand. Like there's problems in your dimension I still don't understand. So, yeah. Not to mention there's problems in my dimension where they tend to hold stuff against people because they're a model of somebody else. They still haven't gotten over my whole thing. So, with the Shadow Freddy thing, I don't think it'd be best because if they had something with you and they figured out I brought you over there, it might collapse onto itself with how they treat you, and I'm not really up to cause anything like that. But if you want to do it anyway, it'd be entertaining, so I'd do it anyway. But yeah, I'm just saying it might be overstimulating because they tend to they'll egg you on. I'm not gonna beat around the bush with that. They will. They'll make you mad on purpose. Yeah. Anyways, though, if you do need help with your dimension or anything, let me know. I can try to help with the best of my knowledge because I'm not exactly I'm not a normal shadow body. I am one of the more smarter ones because I think you get the point. There. You have your voice lines. You happy? Good. Okay. Bye.